Hi, everybody. It's Monday evening. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wentz. Hope you had a nice weekend. We're going to keep this short and sweet here tonight. Lots to talk about, though. I do want to talk about, obviously, the drought that we have and how dry it has been and when we see some changes to that, because there are changes in the extended forecast. I'm excited to share that with you. But boy, do we need some rain. We are very thirsty out here in terms of gardens and all that good stuff. We'll talk about that. The tropics are getting started as well, and we're getting our first real taste of humidity this year. We've got it all for you on this Monday evening edition. That was our Sunday evening edition, but it was Father's Day. So we're doing it tonight of Region Weather Live. And welcome in. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday evening to you. Hope you had a nice weekend. We had nice weather around this weekend. Wasn't too bad. Deshaun's with us, and good evening to you. Hi, Deshaun. Hi, Justin. Mark. Appreciate that, Deshaun. That's awesome. And Carl's with us from Hebron. Hi, Carl. Hope you guys are doing well. I really do. We've got summer-like weather out ahead of us for the first week of summer. I mean, first half week of summer starts on Wednesday, and it's going to feel like it. So there's that. All right, let's jump into the forecast. Michelle, hello to you. Nick's from Cedar Lake. Hi, Nick. Thanks for joining us tonight. Kyle's waiting for rain. Kyle, we're going to jump right into that. Susan needs rain too. So, and that's interesting. Susan's saying, do we have to suffer with the ash from the Canadian forest fires? Unfortunately, Susan, I think we're going to be dealing with the forest fire smoke often this summer. We're going to get a little break here over the next couple of days, which is great. But that blue sky, and I said this weeks ago, I don't think we're going to see that blue sky for a while or consistently as we go throughout the summer. Okay. Want to quickly thank our sponsors. I mean, they keep the show for free. They're awesome. I'll start at the top. Lance's Lawn Care. Lance and his team don't just do lawn care. They do sprinkler systems, and it's been so dry that I think a sprinkler system would be a nice way to go because you're probably tired of watering. So they install them. They'll supply your own sprinkler systems. They're awesome at that. They've done a ton of lawns across the region. They're local, 219-869-8474. Ewing Mechanical Services, that's our HVAC specialists in the region. They have a deal right now that you get $500 off a new Amana AC. If you combine that with a furnace, you get $1,000 off. It's ewingmech.com. Tiger Plumbing has really gone on this kick where they're installing faucets left and right. They do Delta faucets, which are the best. So if you go out and buy a Delta faucet and you need it installed, they'll do it real fast. And they're great. They come out for free, which is great. They don't charge you trip fees. Tigerplumbing.net. PSA are public service adjusters. It's publicserviceadjusting.com. It's a local business. If you have any type of claim, insurance claim, whether it be, a tree falls on a fence or, anything's wrong with your house or whatever it happens to be, leaky pipes that Tiger Plumbing didn't come to fix in time because you didn't call them, any of that stuff, they'll take care of all of it for you from the whole entire claims process. Guys, it's a win-win with them because they watch the claim go from the start to finish, and they'll get you more money than you normally do. It's publicserviceadjusting.com. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso has been a sponsor for over 2 years now. They're a wonderful family-owned business. And finally, last but not least, St. Jude House, and it's St. Jude House in Northwest Indiana. There are nonprofit. Sorry, I'm hearing something in the background. There are nonprofit that deals with domestic violence, and that is something we don't like to talk about, but they are really saving lives. I mean it. In Northwest Indiana, they have a new mobile advocacy program where they will come and meet victims anywhere they want. It can be discreet, whether it be at a coffee shop, whatever it happens to be. But they're doing really good stuff with that around domestic violence. So stjudehouse.org is the website. All right, I mentioned the tropics are getting active. We have a named storm, and that is Brett out in the Atlantic right now. A lot of people freaking out because they think this is early. It's not. It's early to have a storm out in the Atlantic that's really traversing the entire Atlantic, all right? Normally they form in the Gulf or the Caribbean this time of year. So this is kind of a big deal. It is expected to become a hurricane heading towards the Lesser Antilles as we get into Thursday and Friday. I don't think it's going to be a real strong storm. There is bath water out here. And it's not moving a whole lot because there's really nothing disrupting it, which is helping this to form into a stronger storm. But I do think we get some kind of rain in Dominican Republic. So the reason why I bring this up first is because a lot of people have travel plans, and these happen to be travel locations. If you have interest to travel to Florida next week, this would be a system that we'd have to watch. Okay. I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster storm like you'd expect in August or September, but it certainly is a storm nonetheless. And the hurricane season getting going, there's a storm behind that as well that I believe is not named yet. I didn't check the latest update. We'll get one in probably 10 minutes or so, but they're certainly investigating that. All right. Locally, here's what we're dealing with. Dry still. There's an area of low pressure down towards Tennessee. It's cut off from the jet stream. So the main jet stream comes into the western U.S. It goes way up and over. So there's nothing steering this system. What we're going to get off of this is some high clouds over the next couple of days. All right. There's some showers close, but there's dry air wrapping around this. And that's really what we've been in. This is also dragging that atmospheric smoke in from Canada. Wildfires actually in central Canada are the cause of this. But overall, it continues to be dry, and the system's going to be just off down towards our south and east. The latest drought monitor looks like this. We'll get a new one on Thursday. It's not going to be any better because we haven't had any rain. But you notice as you get into Indiana, Chicago, areas of eastern Illinois, we're on the D2 right here, which is severe drought. That is a level 3 out of 5 in terms of drought categories. All right. I know it's confusing, but you can see, D0 is abnormally dry, which isn't technically a drought. But bottom line, we need the rainfall, and we need anywhere from about 3 to 8 inches, depending on where you are in the viewing area, to make that right. So you usually don't get that from one system. That's the problem. We're going to need multiple systems or something to come in here and sit to produce rain to be able to make that up. So can we do it? Because, I mean, this is getting ridiculous, and drought is not fun, especially if you have a well, especially if you rely on water for agriculture, if you rely on water for your job, whatever that happens to be. It's not always, easy to come by when you get in a drought territory. So that's where we stand. So let's go through time, and I'll be happy to answer questions here at the end, as always. But we're going to start with the forecast here in terms of rainfall. That low pressure sits down to the south Wednesday night. Thursday, it starts to kind of retreat and open up a little bit. Still down to our south, though. We don't get any rain out of this on Thursday. By Friday, we start to flirt with some rain as the system kind of opens up. It's a closed low right now, and it's vertically stacked. So you can go up in the – I won't get into that, but you can go up in the atmosphere, and the low pressure can be in different spots in the atmosphere as you go up. When it's vertically stacked, it's not moving a whole lot, and you've got every layer of the atmosphere with that low pressure point pretty much over each other. And so it's a real tight, compact low. What's going to happen Friday into Saturday, it's going to start to broaden out a little bit and kind of dissipate. And so that will take the rain that's compact to that low and start to spread it out a little bit as well. So there you go. Friday, you notice maybe some rain getting into Indiana. We'll see. I wouldn't hold this for truth right now. But the good news is there's a chance that as this low widens out a little bit, that the fringe of it comes into our area. So we're going to put rain in the forecast on Friday. That'll be our first real shot at this. And that would be in the afternoon, likely kind of Floridian pop-ups, all right, with some good downpours. There's good moisture with this. As we get into Saturday, that system starts to depart to the east, and we welcome in, I'm just going to call it the saving grace. This looks like a real good shot at rain, and this arrives late next weekend. It's going to be another low from the north, and this one's going to be a slow mover somewhere over the Great Lakes. Well, we happen to be in the Great Lakes, so that's a good spot to be. So watch how this evolves. Here's Saturday, isolated shower. Doesn't look like a big chance of rain. I know a lot of you with weekend plans. Sunday, we start to bring the system in, and we'll have some kind of thunderstorm activity somewhere in the area on Sunday. I think we stand a real good chance of rain Sunday into Sunday night and Monday. Look at the coverage of this. This is combining with leftover moisture from that first low. So all of the areas in green right there stand a real good shot at some kind of shower or thunderstorm during the day. And all the areas in green right there are the areas that have had that bad drought that's been ongoing since late March into April. I mean, this is really going to be, it started in late March and April. May is when it really picked up. But this is really right where the rain needs to be on the map. So real good shot as we go into the beginning of next week. And then you can see the Euro keeps this over us. The GFS is a little bit more progressive with that low. We need it to sit, all right? We need it to sit for multiple days. This is next Tuesday, and then it continues into next Wednesday, starting to move a little bit. But you get the idea. We still got rain around here on Wednesday. So how much are we talking between now and then? Let's just get to it. I'm going to go right to the precip totals. I mean, this is great. This is really great. Anywhere from, as of right now, the model's saying anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches across the region. Okay. Is that going to make up drought? No. Is it going to help? It is. And watch how we have nothing through Thursday. It's Friday that we start to bring those chances in here. And there's your weekend system as that comes in. So real good news in terms of rainfall. And again, it's not going to do much for our drought, but it's going to stop the bleeding, so to speak. This is going to put a Band-Aid on it, and hopefully we can get into a rainier pattern from there. All right. Last thing I want to go over are temperatures, because we were hot today. We've got a pretty hot week out ahead of us. Summer officially kicking off on Wednesday. I believe it's 9:58 Central Time in the morning. And here you go. It's going to feel like it outside. So here's your temperatures. This is tomorrow. Notice how the Euro is spiking some 90s inland from the lake. Lake Michigan's going to provide some cooling again, so likely 70s to near 80 if you're going to the beaches. It'll be great. You get inland, though, it gets hot. Newton, Jasper County, even Valpo should be up near 90. We're going to do it all over again on Wednesday. And then remember, we start to bring the influence of this low pressure as it starts to broaden out down to our south. So a little bit cooler on Thursday with more clouds around. Still warm, though. Friday, still more the same. We're warm, but not hot because we've got clouds around. And then this is out ahead of that weekend system. So Saturday, probably a hot day, probably up near 90 or so. And then Sunday, I don't know if I agree with this right now with those storm chances. We may peak 90 degrees on Sunday before the cluster of storms moves in. But I have a feeling we're going to be a little cloudier and rainier than that. And then notice next week, remember, we've got lots of rain around, so we're talking 80s, even 70s for highs. So we will relax on the heat this week as we get into next week with some of the rainfall chances that we have, okay? All right, let's answer questions, and we'll get you on your way tonight, all right? I appreciate you guys spending your Monday night with me. I really, really do. Let's see. Mary says, hope you had a nice Father's Day. Thank you, Mary. It was wonderful. We had my wife made homemade biscuits, which was great. We had like the different jam spreads. There's one that was like hot pepper something that was so good. We may have had leftovers. I may have had them this morning and didn't tell her. I don't think she was planning on it for food, but it was a wonderful Father's Day. It really, really was. Let's see. Mark, that's a good question. How long can we go without rain before it kills the corn crop? Definitely won't be knee high by 4th of July. Absolutely not. We did a story on local farmers that they're saying, no, there's no way it's going to be knee high by 4th of July. If the farmers have agricultural like the big sprinkler systems that they have where they're able to keep watering it, there's at least it's not going to kill the corn crop. Obviously, it's going to save it. But Mark, there's such a difference between water from our wells or the city from the tap and rainwater. Rainwater has many more nutrients in it, and the plants know it. And so, hopefully by this weekend, if we can get through this week, I think we're going to be okay. That low pressure looks to provide some real good rain for several days. And then after that, it does look like a pretty progressive pattern where we keep some rain around. But what a stretch, right? It really is. Yeah, Kristen, for sure. I wish, and I hope it will, and there's a chance it will. The Euro slows it down right over the Great Lakes, and the way the pattern's been so far this year, we've had real slow-moving systems because there's not a lot of movement in the atmosphere. There is up in Canada, but it hasn't been here. So we certainly need it. Deshaun, that's a great question. He asks, with the rain and storms this Sunday, will there be strong storms? There's a chance, Deshaun. I don't think initially there's going to be the strong storms with that low as it kind of expands. It's that next shot coming in from the northwest that could bring some pretty potent storms. And I could see it being like a cluster of storms, like those big complexes that develop and roll through. So we'll have to keep an eye on this weekend. It'll certainly be more active pattern because we've been really slow weather-wise. Frankly, weather-wise, I've been kind of bored. And I'm not used to that this time of year, but I never want to say that because it has been nice outside of the fact we haven't had any rain. Diane says, I keep watching my brother in Palm Bay, Florida, getting rain. It's unbelievable. They had hail today too. Yeah, they've gotten nailed down in Florida. Mobile, Alabama today. They had heavy rain with a storm that sat since 9 a.m. So they had heavy rain from 9 a.m. till about 5 p.m. Over 10 inches of rain. They had a flood emergencies down there. Over the weekend in Pensacola, Florida, they had incredible rains with a storm that just sat. It kept regenerating over the same spot. And they were over 10 inches of rain in spots. It's been, and outside of that, they've had severe weather down there, day after day of severe weather from Oklahoma down towards Florida. And that's because that's where the jet stream is. That's the jet stream that is usually up here this time of year. Is it unusual for it to go down there? It kind of is. Is it an alarmist thing? Like, oh my gosh, things are shifting. No, it's just down south. That's why we've been on the cooler side for much of the late spring. But that will shift, and all that jet stream will come back, and it's not real strong this time of year, but it's enough to produce the severe weather they've had, and that has been unusual for them. Yeah, Erica. Yeah, we mentioned that in our post this morning about how cool the lakeshore was going to be today, which is perfect for the beaches. Tomorrow, more the same, Erica, and then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, that will go away. The warm air will make it all the way up towards the lakeshore. Maxwell says we're also in a thunderstorm drought. Oh, National Weather Service mentioned that. That's interesting. We haven't had a good thunderstorm in a while. And Maxwell, I don't know if they mentioned this or not, but thunderstorms are crucial for our gardens and crops as well. It's the lightning that is really, really good for plants. I don't know if you guys know this, but nitrogen is brought down with the lightning. And plants, if you're a gardener or know anything about it, nitrogen is wonderful for plants and gardens and corn crop. That's why after a real good lightning storm, your mind isn't playing tricks on yourself. The grass is greener the next day because of all the nitrogen. And plants, tomato plants especially, love lightning. All of it just grows better. So we could use a really good lightning storm around here. I know they're creepy and you don't want electricity to go out, but my goodness, the plants could absolutely use it. Yeah, Susan, it has a lot to do with rain and the fact that we're watering from our hoses versus Mother Nature. So as soon as we have a sign of rain coming in this weekend, Susan, get those plants outside. If you've got hanging baskets, whatever it is, put them out there. Let them get something good for sure. Derek just got back from Glenwood, Minnesota. Derek, it's been hot up in Minnesota. Yeah, for sure, Vicky. Yeah, I see. Yeah, 10 inches of rain would be great. Maybe not all at once. Yeah, Maxwell, we're going to clear out the smoke a little bit here over the next couple of days. The flow just isn't directly out of Canada, so it's going to build up again up there. But as of right now, indication is we kind of clear this atmospheric haze. We're still going to have a little bit, but not nearly what we've had over the last couple of weeks. Deshaun, that's my job. Oh, wow, that's interesting. I see your comment there, Kristen. I didn't know the aphids were out of control. Yeah, well, that'll do it. And also when it goes dry, I notice the spiders are a little bit more active. Oftentimes in October, I know that's perfect for Halloween, but the spiders are able to build their webs when there's nothing knocking them down, and so they tend to get a little bit more active too. So interesting on that front. All right, guys, I think that's it. I think we got to everything. I want to make it short and sweet and to the point. That's what we like to do. And I hope this helps you kind of understand where we're going this week in terms of weather. We'll be on it every single day. We've got our updates on the radio side of things. We'll have updates on here. And I hope you caught it, but I want to do this for you guys for the summer to have a weekend video forecast for you that you can check in anytime, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and get a quick update on the weekend. Because I know a lot of us have plans. So we'll do another one on this Friday. Actually, we'll probably do it Thursday because I'm in a wedding this weekend, so we may be out of commission. But anyway, I hope that helps. I don't know if you guys caught that video, but there's that. Okay. All right. We'll let you guys go. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you on the other side of things. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.